In the previous episode, Gi-yoon's team was about to lose the game of tug-of-war, so Sang-woo thought of a last-minute plan. He asked everyone to loosen their grip on the rope for a few seconds, so their opponents would fall down. As they do, Gi-yoon, who is at the front, almost falls off the bridge. But the plan works, and their opponents trip and fall, losing their hold on the rope. The team uses this opportunity to pull the rope harder than ever, and finally wins the game. They lie on the ground in exhaustion, feeling the adrenaline rush in their bodies. While returning back to their room, the girl who Sae-byok had recruited, Ji-young, makes fun of a team member who happens to be a priest. They return to the room to see Deok-soo's team talking to each other. Min-yo stares at the man, subtly telling him she doesn't need him anymore. The group then sits together while talking. Min-yo tries to charm everyone, so they will favor her. She also belittles Ali for being a foreigner and asks to see his passport. As they talk, it is announced that the lights will be off in some minutes. They know people might start killing at night, so the group plans to make a barricade and stay awake in pairs to keep watch. As they try to build a safe zone using the bunk beds, Deok-soo approaches Gi-yoon and makes fun of him for thinking the beds can stop them from being killed. Gi-yoon, on the other hand, warns him of his own team members. He thinks since Deok-soo has been ordering them around, he might be their first target. His words get into Deok-soo's head, so he tells his team that they won't be killing tonight. Inam offers to be the first one to keep watch, saying that old people do not need to sleep. But the kind man is told to shut up by a new member, because they cannot keep an old man as a guard. Soon, the lights go out, and Sang-woo and Ali stay awake to guard the others. Ali thanks Sang-woo for saving his life today, and hands him a cob of corn that he had saved for him. Sang-woo breaks it in half, and the two enjoy the corn together while talking. He asks Ali to call him Hyun, which means big brother in Korean. They share stories about how they ended up in the game. After a while, Sang-woo wakes Gi-yoon to swap the duties. Deok-soo also can't seem to fall asleep, for fear of being killed himself. Meanwhile, the police officer Jun-ho is taken to the room where some staff secretly harvest the dead player's organs. He finds out that the man he killed on the ship was also involved in the secret program. The doctor is there too, performing the procedures. He gets into an argument with the staff for being slow. Back in the room, Inam joins Gi-yoon to keep watch. Gi-yoon tells him how he was not paid for 10 years worth of work because the car company he worked at was at a loss. Inam sympathizes with him and starts crying all of a sudden. Gi-yoon tries to calm him and realizes that the old man has a fever. He makes him lay down, but doesn't have water to help reduce his fever. Sae-byok offers him some, and the two put Inam to sleep. It is now their turn to keep watch. Meanwhile, the doctor finishes harvesting the organs and hands them to Jun-ho and another staff member, who are supposed to dive underwater and give them to the buyers in the sea. After they leave, he asks the others about tomorrow's game, but it turns out even they do not know what it will be. The doctor freaks out, saying that he will be killed if they do not tell him. He holds one of them hostage and asks the other staff to figure out about the game. They get into a fight, leading the doctor to run out to the hallways, but he gets lost in the maze and doesn't know how to return. A staff member follows him to the playground where the game Honeycomb was played. He asks the doctor to calm down because if they are caught, all of them will be killed. The doctor asks him to show his face so that he can trust him. The two are talking when suddenly, the overseer of the facility shoots the staff member. He then says that he doesn't care what the staff does with the dead bodies, but they aren't allowed to tell the players about the games. That ruins the main essence of the facility, which is equality. He then kills the man, while the other staff shoots the doctor dead. At the same time, Jun-ho and a staff member go down through an emergency exit, which the man claims are for the VIPs. Jun-ho vaguely asks him about the VIPs, but the man reveals no one knows who they are. He becomes suspicious of Jun-ho for inquiring so much, and asks him to open his mask. The man finds out Jun-ho is a different person, but before he can react, Jun-ho points his gun at him. He inquires about his brother, but the man doesn't know anything about him. But he tells him about the player's information file in their overseer's room, where he can find his brother's information. A secret stairway that leads him to the overseer's room lies nearby. Jun-ho shoots the man dead and enters the overseer's room. After he is gone, the overseer and the staff come downstairs to see the man who was killed by Jun-ho. The overseer digs the bullet out of his head and realizes it belongs to a policeman. The staff are ordered to find the man as soon as possible. An alarm begins blaring, waking the players up. They are quickly made to line up in the middle by the staff. Inam refuses to get up, and it turns out he had peed himself at night. Meanwhile, Jun-ho is in the overseer's room, where he finds the files of every single person who has ever participated in the game. He figures that the games have been played for many years now. The players are then made to stand in lines in the middle of the room. Gi-yoon helps Inam by tying his jacket around the old man's waist, so he won't be embarrassed. After that, the players are then taken outside, through the halls, where everyone is horrified to see the dead bodies of the doctor and the staff who helped him, hung from the ceiling. An announcement is made, saying that this will happen to anyone who breaks the rules for their own benefit. In the meantime, Junho is still in the overseer's office, taking pictures of the documents he thinks are important. He is searching for his brother's file when he hears a phone ringing outside. The overseer comes into the room and picks it up. He talks to a foreign man in English about a minor disturbance that happened between the staff, and assures the person on the other end everything will be good when the VIPs arrive. After the overseer leaves, Junho picks up the phone and tries to call the number back, but to no avail. In the meantime, the players are taken to an empty white room where they will have to separate into groups of 2. Gi-yoon's team needs to separate as well. They look at each other in confusion. Minyo tries to sweet-talk Gi-yoon to team up with her. When he doesn't speak, she makes her way to Sang-woo, who also declines her offer. Sang-woo asks Ali to be his teammate, and the two look at Gi-yoon to see if he objects. Gi-yoon asks them to go ahead and starts looking for a teammate himself. Inam makes his way towards him, but Gi-yoon knows he cannot win with an old man as his partner, so he apologizes to him. Inam simply gives him his jacket, saying that the others might look down upon him if he doesn't have one. Gi-yoon feels bad for the man, but goes looking for a member anyway. Sae-byeok and Ji-young join hands as well. A man asks Gi-yoon to be his teammate. He reveals that since the doctor is dead, it leaves an odd number of players. So, the one with no partner will probably be killed. Gi-yoon looks at Inam, sitting alone in a corner, and feels awful for abandoning him, so he asks the old man to be his partner. In the end, the one person who doesn't have a partner is Minyo. She makes a fuss about them not being able to win without her. As the players make their way to play the game, she is taken away by the guards. The players are then brought to a mock neighborhood with several houses and streets. Inam and Gi-yoon talk about the alleyways looking like their childhood homes, while Ali and Sang-woo promise each other that they will win the money together for their families. However, all of their plans fail when it is announced that the pairs will be going against each other. They are given 10 marbles each and told to play any game they want to with them. Most of them choose either a game where you should throw the marbles into a pit, or a game in which one guesses how many marbles the other person has. They are given 30 minutes to complete the game. Gi-yoon is shocked, but Inam seems to be looking at the marbles in fascination. He has completely forgotten what he was here for. As the game begins, everyone starts playing, but Inam goes around the blocks looking for his house. Gi-yoon tries to stop him, but he doesn't want to play the game, saying that it is childish. At last, Gi-yoon slams the old man to the wall in frustration, knowing that both of them will die if they do not play. Inam trembles in fear and accepts. At the same time, Ali and Sang-woo, who treat each other like brothers, have to go against each other now. Ali doesn't want to play the game, but Sang-woo insists that they do, or else both of them will lose. Ali doesn't even know how to play it, so Sang-woo teaches him. One of them will have to keep a certain number of marbles hidden in a fist. The other will guess if the number of marbles in their fist is odd or even. If the guess is correct, all the marbles the person is holding will go to the person who made the correct guess. The two start playing, and Ali makes the right guess at first, taking 2 of Sang-woo's marbles. Eventually, Ali wins all of Sang-woo's marbles, except for 1. When people start dying, Sang-woo claims that he has a way they can both win. An innocent Ali, who doesn't want to be the reason Sang-woo dies, listens to his plan. Sang-woo claims that at the end of the game, people are not going to agree on a winner, because they will nitpick the rules. The staff will then have only one way to continue, that is, to make one team go against another. So, they make a deal to go around the playing zone, looking for the players who are older so they can go against them at the end. Ali still doesn't understand Sang-woo's plan, but agrees to do whatever he wants, because he trusts him. Sang-woo also makes him wear his marble bag on his neck, so no one can snatch it. Meanwhile, Ji-young and Sae-byeok sit together, not knowing what to do. Sae-byeok, being from North Korea, doesn't know any marble games, so Ji-young offers to teach her. But both girls do not want to play for 30 minutes, so they decide to just talk for most of the time, and bet all of their marbles on one game at the end. Sae-byeok, who normally doesn't like to speak much, reveals that her father died while trying to cross the border, and her mother was caught by the Chinese police and sent back to North Korea. She wants to buy a house and bring her mother back after she wins the money. Ji-young laughs, saying that she could do a lot more than that with the money. Sae-byeok innocently claims she wants to visit Jeju Island, to which Ji-young offers to go together. They realize that it cannot happen because one of them will die today. Ji-young then reveals that she killed her abusive father and went to prison for it. She has no motive to live, even if she wins the money. In the meantime, Inam and Gi-yoon start the game, and Inam wins 5 of Gi-yoon's marbles in just the first round. As they go on, Gi-yoon is left with only 1 marble. He nervously guesses odd for the number of marbles inside Inam's fist, only to discover it is even. Gi-yoon loses the game. However, Inam forgets what Gi-yoon predicted, allowing him to change his answer. Starting that round, Gi-yoon uses Inam's dementia to win every round. At last, Inam only has 1 marble left, but he starts looking for his house again instead of playing. Similarly, Deoksu also wins the game against one of his minions when his marble accidentally knocks Deoksu's into the pit. Ji-young and Sabyok decide to throw 1 marble at the wall, and the one who throws the closest will win. Sabyok goes first and does pretty well, but when it is Ji-young's turn, she drops the marble on the ground lazily, making Sabyok win. Sabyok corners her and asks her to go again because it isn't fair. However, Ji-young claims that she has nothing to live for, unlike her. They say their last goodbyes before a staff member shoots Ji-young dead. Ali, on the other hand, goes looking for Sang-woo because only a few minutes of the game are left, but when he checks his bag of marbles, he realizes that his brother-like friend has betrayed him. Sang-woo has exchanged Ali's marbles with pebbles. Ali sheds one last tear, still in disbelief, before a guard shoots him dead. Now, only Inam and Gi-yoon are left. They have to play one last game for Gi-yoon to win, but Inam suggests they bet all of their marbles on one last round. Gi-yoon is enraged, claiming that this isn't fair. To Gi-yoon's surprise, Inam reveals that he knows Gi-yoon has been cheating him. The old man had faked having dementia to make Gi-yoon win. At last, Inam happily hands his last marble to Gi-yoon and thanks him for playing with him. Gi-yoon hugs his friend for the last time and walks out of the house, sobbing. The episode ends as a gunshot startles him, indicating that Inam has been killed. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.